Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of Omnifactory. Last episode, we made some pretty cool stuff over in this corner of our base. We have full-fledged ore processing going on. We had to make some last-minute changes at the end because we were running into an issue with this macerator backstuffing, and that seems to be working pretty well. I've been testing it out with a few different ores, and basically stuff is just going to fill up in this steel chest. And then because our major bottleneck is in the ore washing plant, things will kind of build up here, and as long as I don't put too many ores into here, we should be okay. And again, the idea is for this to be used only for select ores. If I have a bunch of iron ore for some reason, I'm not going to put it through the macerator. So like stibnite and tetrahedrite, they're nice because they give a lot of antimony. I'm also testing it with lapis, just like kind of some random ores I've been putting in and letting it do its thing. And it's a great background task type thing to have set up. And I think as we progress through the pack, I'll eventually want to make an even more complex ore processing setup for a few reasons. One was we want a better macerator so that we have a better chance of getting that byproduct. And then also it would be nice to just have it run a little bit faster, and also maybe set up some thermal centrifuges and things like that. But all in all, I think this is good as it is right here. Everything is working as planned. Although when I did, when I first came back to this world after logging off for a while, I did notice that the configuration settings on the robot arms, they went from 9 to 4, or sorry, they were at 9 over here and 4 over here, and they both went down to 1. So I'm not sure if that was something I just forgot to do, or if there was some kind of glitch. But I'll have to wait and see if that happens next time. But all in all, I'll let this run, do its thing, and yeah, really happy with our progress here. So today, what I want to work on is a few things. If we take a look in our early game tab, this is looking pretty much completely done. There are a few things, like we could probably get some of the bigger item storage and fluid storage disks, is that what they're called? Storage components? Sure. For applied energistics, I'll probably get that eventually, but I'm not really in too much of a rush to get there. We can make a drill, some of these little ones, but the two big squares left for us to do is the distillation tower and farming, and I would love to aim on getting both of those done today. And then, yeah, we could probably do the jetpacks, and I might do these things off camera just to, it'd be nice for this all to be green. And I think that would unlock a good amount of stuff in the mid-game tab. Both of these things are very necessary for getting to the next circuit. So the farming, it just has sugarcane, which we know is very easy to automate. We have that set up in our overworld. We could set up another one here. And then we also have canola. And canola is useful because we can put it into a canola press, which is in the mid-game tab right here, yeah. And we can get canola oil from that, and that's very useful for a number of things. And I'm pretty sure it's actually required for the next tier of circuits, or at least it's required to do it the much easier way. But yeah, so I think I can show you what I've done so far. So I made a very beautiful farm of canola over here, so I can let that grow. And I've never used a watering can on this pack, but I want to see if that works. I'm assuming it does. I don't really know how it functions, but like, does this, okay, can I fill this up with water like over here? Okay, that's easy enough. We'll get a bit of water on this, and then I'm assuming this will speed up the crop growth. How do I... Water may be collected while sneaking? Do you place it down? Oh, okay, there we go. Now it's, I don't know why that wasn't going before. So this can be a way to get our like initial crops, but it's kind of slow. Wow, that water is going down really fast as well. But I have a better idea. And I think it's actually a quest later in the game, but I'll probably just do it now because I'm pretty sure I can. But we can make a farmer, which will make all of this automatic. Very easy to make. We can do all this stuff very easily. So let's make this really quick, and that should just automatically plant and harvest all of our canola, which I think is a pretty nice to have. So for a farmer, we just need to get one of these aluminum casings, which actually, do we have that already? No, we have like nothing. So I'll get one of those. The dark bimetal gears, those are easy. It's I made a recipe for it. It's just infinity bimetal gears combined with dark steel in an alloy smelter, and then some of these void crystal blocks, which we have unlimited void crystals thanks to our automation efforts. And that should be everything we need for this. So now we have a farmer, and again, I do believe this is a quest in a bit, but I don't quite have it set up yet. So I'm thinking if we just like set this up here, that might do the job. Only thing is we need to get some power to it. So I'm thinking, yeah, we're gonna have some water spillage temporarily. Ooh, that's kind of annoying to deal with. I guess I thought I had power closer to here, but the closest power is gonna be over there, I guess. So I can run some power along this MA line as well. That's boring though. Let me do that really quick. Ooh, this is gonna bother me. Definitely does not look good, but it needed to happen somewhere. We have a bit of a eyesore going on right there, but that's okay. So yeah, pretty much what this does is it acts as a farmer. It just harvests crops when it's ready, and then collects them and replants. Although I am now realizing that I guess it only does like what's in front of it. So, okay. Change of plans. I wish I realized this beforehand. I'll just put it like here. That seems good, right? And replant there. Okay, I can keep the water here, but I don't think that this stuff is necessary yet. Okay, good, that still worked, unless that was me. I might have done that by accident. And then I'll just wire the power here instead. Okay, and then we don't have to deal with that eyesore anymore, that's a nice little silver lining. Cool, okay, so I will do this, bring the wiring over here, like so. Okay, I think this should look pretty good. And then it's a weird mystery block when you're looking on this side. Okay, and then we need one more of those factory blocks to cover up my mess that I made over here. Cool, and looks like that didn't work. So hopefully this should also replant. I wonder if there's a way to like, oops, open up the configuration for this. I don't know if there is any kind of configuration. I guess we'll find out if it doesn't replant automatically, but it definitely should. But I'll let that go passively for a bit, and we can start working on the distillation tower, which is the main thing I want to do this episode anyway. I think I got a little bit carried away with being a farmer. You know what they say, it ain't much, but it's honest work. Okay, so the distillation tower, this is a cool multi-block. So it can be as tall as you want and just have a bunch of these different fluid output hatches. I think the main thing we are going to be processing is oil. So if we look into JEI, can we look at like the liquid oil? That's light oil. If I look at oil sands usages, so this is what I am talking about. Okay. So we want to be putting this through the... What? I thought there was a distillation tower recipe. Oh, we want to look at usages. Okay. And okay, so if we process oil in here, it looks like there are 4 outputs. So I guess we need to make it 4 tall in terms of how many outputs. But in the future, like different types of things can have like tons of outputs. Like, oh, there's a good one. Yeah, if we want to process steam cracked light fuel, we are going to need a very, very tall distillation tower if we want to get everything. It gets kind of crazy. But for now, yeah, we'll do 4 tall, which I'm pretty sure is what the actual quest book calls for as well. Oh, only 2 fluid output hatches, but 4 would be nice to have. So first things first is we should make the actual controller for this. So we're going to need a couple tier 3 circuits and some large stainless steel pipes. So I think I have that that pipe, extruder pipe thing. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna need some stainless steel with that. And let me just borrow my extruder over here, since we don't really need to make pipes that often. 12. Yeah, that seems good to me. Okay, so that should give us our 4 pipes. And then I can make up some tier 3 circuits as well. I just need a couple more. And then the HV pumps, which I guess we do not have. Do we have everything to make it? No, we don't. I'll be right back. All right, we got our pumps, so we should be able to make the distillation tower now. Does that complete the quest, or I think I need a few more things. So yeah, we're just gonna need a bunch of stainless steel casing. And then we're gonna have to look onto actually making the multi-block. So do we have any of these stainless steel casing right now? Does not look like it. So we're probably gonna need some more frames, which means we're gonna need more of these rods. Oh, also, something I failed to mention, but before I started recording, I switched up, so this used to have 2 LV hatches. I switched it to use 2 MV hatches instead, and things work so much quicker. It hasn't really been too much of an issue so far, but this is for stainless steel, which is usually a pretty slow craft, and now we can see it really flying up. And since we have 2 inputs, it actually goes to the next tier, so I could also do 2 HV inputs, but we're not that desperate for more speed. So yeah, I've just been processing up some stainless steel with some of the newly acquired chrome that we got from our ore processing over there. So let's grab, I thought I requested some. Oh, it looks like it's backed up on stainless steel rods already. Okay, that's all right. So what else are we going to need? MV energy input hatch. Energy input. Do I have a machine hole? Looks like I don't. Probably gonna need a few of these. I'm just gonna make 10 of these MV machine holes. I mean, they're used for interfaces and a bunch of other stuff, so can't really go wrong there. And then a bunch of fluid output hatches, which we can use. Okay, nice. So we have an input hatch already, and we can use. So we need 3 more of these LV fluid output hatches. So LV machine hole, we need 3 more. And it looks like I'm out of crafting CPUs. Never mind. Cool. What else? The energy input hatch, which we should be able to make now. So that's for LV, but I think we do need MV. And then the fluid output hatch. 1 more, please. It's waiting on wrought iron, it looks like. Is something going wrong here? I think something might have gotten stuck, actually. Stainless steel rods. Huh, I think maybe because I requested rods at the same time as it was crafting it, it got stuck. Okay, and now it's doing the other rods. That's interesting. Is this working now? Man, I feel like things are not going right today. And look at that, I just placed a block. Stainless steel rod. What does that pattern look like? Is it in the right? Maybe it's not in the right. It's in the lathe pattern. Let me try canceling it and trying again. I'll take 20 stainless steel rods, please. So that should feed this interface. Huh. I guess it's working now. That's really weird. I'm not really sure what was going on there. Okay. What did I need? 1 more machine, LV machine hole to make another fluid output hatch. Cool. Okay. And now we should be good to make the actual stainless steel. Oh yeah, the stainless steel casings. Okay. So we get a few more of these. Is 6 gonna be enough? Maybe. Oh, I'm gonna need a bunch of stainless steel plates, aren't I? Okay. I'm gonna let some of this stuff craft up because it might take a bit of time. Cool, so we should be able to grab a bunch of clean stainless steel casing for now. So I'll use 18 for now, but we might be having to get more before, because I think I'm making a taller structure than the quest book calls for. Cool, and that completed our quest, so we'll get some Omni Nickels from that. And now we can try and set up the multi-block structure. So if we take a look at the pattern that's shown in JEI, so we need to have the actual controller here, and then the input hatch, and I don't think it's super specific which side everything needs to be on, but yeah. But if we look at the first level, so the center actually has to be the fluid input hatch here, which I think is really weird, but I guess it has to be done. And then each level on top of that is just very straightforward. It's just the fluid output hatch all the way to the top, which just has a stainless steel casing in the middle as well, just to make it so that it's a hollow middle. So I think we should be good to make it. And also the bottom layer is a regular output bus in case there are non-liquid outputs. That's where they will go. So besides this, I think it should be pretty straightforward, right? So can we make this pointed downwards? I think it might have to be. And we're gonna have to try and pipe in oil from there somehow. Actually, I don't want this. I just heard our crops. So are they working? They're getting replanted? Cool, that's good to see. How many are we at right now? 22 canola. It's not nearly enough, but it's a background task. It's a background. Cool, so now we'll just kind of build up around here. And yeah, we're definitely gonna need more stainless steel. But let me put the fluid output hatches here. It's kind of hard to do this because you need to hold shift while you do it. It's going to be a big tower. Let's see. I'm going to need a bunch more. Let me just make a ton. I'll do the old shift click. It's 12 more, but I think we're going to need more of the stainless steel frames as well. And now if I do the casing again, what am I missing? Oh, just the hammer. Give me a bunch more. Okay, 30 is a lot. I think that should be plenty. I hope. Actually, it might be kind of close. Nope, that's enough, but I'm sure we will use the extras that we made at some point. So, looks like that did complete the multi-block structure, so that's definitely our biggest multi-block yet. But yeah, how this works is it will just process up oil and return some more useful products from that oil. So, oh yeah, also power supply. That's something we're gonna need. So I was thinking I would just kind of do it like this. Actually, I kind of wish I put this one further back, but I am not gonna worry too much about it. That's something I can do off camera if I want to. I thought I made a CEF, but maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I made an MVCEF. Well, I'll make one now. I guess I didn't. Don't I have some wiring? Yeah. So I'll just need to make some 4 times, and then we should be able to make the CEF easily. Cool. So I think I'll just do this. Make sure it's pointing upwards. And then I can just throw in the cabling like so. And we'll just need to attach up the power, which we can wire underneath this stuff, which I can do soon enough since we're not actually using it yet. But yeah, so that will complete the majority of stuff. I don't know if we have enough canola yet to actually complete the farming quest in the beginning tab, but we can give it a quick look. Canola? Not quite there yet, but that's okay. We'll get there soon. But yeah, so we can take a look at our mid-game tab, and some different stuff just did get opened up. So navigating Petrochem is, I think, the main one, and this is how we're going to get the different byproducts of oil. Looks like we can make an oil drilling rig as well, which seems pretty nifty. But yeah, if we look into this quest, so yeah, it is very easy to get overwhelmed by all the Petrochem stuff. But yeah, I think that the heavy oil, raw oil, light oil, and then there's also some gas, I think, that comes out of it. Those are the main things that we're going to be using, and I think the main reason we want that, I don't think it says it in here. Oh, it's naphtha? I really don't know how to respond, this. Yeah, this is what we are going to be using. Or sulfuric naphtha? I think that's the main one. Wait, this one. Because we're trying to make, yes, here it is. So epoxy resin is what we're going for. So naphtha is one of the main components of epoxy resin, and the other one is epichlorohydrin. So yeah, and we need this because it makes these resin sheets. And with those resin sheets, we make the fiber reinforced circuit boards. and those are needed to get the really efficient tier 3 circuits. And there's one that's before the fiber reinforced to get the efficient tier 2 circuits. But essentially, that's why the distillation tower is pretty much required going forward. Glad I was able to find that. Whoa, that opened up a lot of oils. So I guess, yeah, so let's go ahead and make some oil, and then we can try and process it up and see if that how that goes. So I guess this should be fast enough. I don't think I really need to, there we go. Need to break, because I'm just wiring this up really quick here. As long as I have enough conduiting. Should be good there. So we should have power, and that's going to bug me, even though it doesn't matter. So we should have power now. It looks like we do. And now I want to get some oil, essentially. So if we have some oil sands, we had some kind of oil sands going on in here. Yeah, that should work. We don't have much, but I can process this up. Give me one more. And then if we electrolyze this, which I think might be a somewhat of a long process, I'll have it do. I've just been processing up some of the ores that we processed over here. A lot of them are good to electrolyze, like stibnite will give you antimony, and so will tetrahedrite. So I've been slowly but surely working through all that stuff. Again, these are background tasks. So I think this will just electrolyze very quickly up into oil. Maybe not very quickly. And then we can take some of that oil and throw it in there. So maybe the best thing I could do would be to, with some of that space that we have behind the distillation tower, I could set up an electrolyzer that's main job is to just process up oil sands and then pipe it in underneath. That's seeming like a pretty good call, and then we can kind of extract all the different fluids from these fluid output hatches here and do it like so. But let me let the oil process up. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I got some oil in a tank here. Not that much so far, just 19 buckets, but I did a few things. So I did end up making an electrolyzer, and what I want to do is set up that piping I was talking about. I think it would be nice to have this all done. So do I have fluid conduits? Am I being blind right now? It's like I must have stored them. There we go. Let's do this. And as far as what to do with the actual, oops, I'll fix that later. I might have to do something about that. As far as what to do with the actual fluids, I'm thinking about just like setting up an ender tank. So this is the one that imports into our system automatically. So like, for example, we are getting hydrogen from our overworld processing, and then it's getting imported. Just wondering, that might be too slow, but we will see if we can kind of share it like that. So we'll see. Or we could just put in a speed card over there. That's a problem we can address soon enough. So let me just take down the fluid that would be coming out of our electrolyzer, and this will just get piped directly into here. But for now, with the fluid that I have, I could probably just put that directly in, and we should see this start to get processed. Yeah, so it does it a little bit at a time, and it runs really, really fast. So these should be getting filled up with their different fluids, as shown in JEI. So if I just take these ender fluid conduits and bring them down here, I wonder if that will work, just so that I don't need to have a bunch of separate imports. Wow, this is filling up quickly. But yeah, like I was saying before, I'm not sure if this will be able to import quickly enough, especially since hydrogen's already happening. And I don't want this to get too full of stuff. Oh, it looks like it is actually. Oh, that's working really nicely. I wonder why it was I guess it's just a really little bit it's definitely able to handle it. That's pretty cool. It's just very quickly doing stuff. Let me dump the rest of my oil in here. Cool, so yeah, this should be getting imported directly into our AE system, and then the we should be able to access it in our fluid terminals very easily. Cool, looking very fancy. And I don't think we get any kind of item byproduct from this, but yeah, so let's take a look at our terminal really quick now. And I guess this quest has us get a bucket of each one of these, so let's do that. So sulfuric light fuel is one. Sulfuric naphtha, which is the one I was talking about, is very important to get. What else are we looking for? The heavy fuel, and then the gas one, sulfuric gas. And this should complete that initial quest. And then I think it's going to have us work on processing it a bit. Wow, this is really opening up a lot of stuff. And I guess this gets a little bit into diesel, so actually this isn't quite the route I wanted to go down. I want to get to the new circuit boards, but I always forget how to do that. I think that might have to get into the actual processing of the canola press as well. I think we have a bit of ways to go. We can probably just work on the processing methods for doing this first, and I'm sure eventually we'll get to that. Cool, so I can put all these different liquids away, and we can buy oil sands with Omnicoins for very cheap, and then it'll be as simple as just, yeah, so it's like 10 Omnicoins for a full stack of oil sands. And then we can just process that up in the electrolyzer once we have the dust version of it. And that should send it directly into the distillation tower and process it up and put it into our ME system. So that's looking pretty good. Let's see how much canola we have. I think that might be enough. No, we need a full stack. Cool, but yeah, I think this is probably a decent wrapping up point, just because going forward, we're just going to be processing up a lot of these fuels, and then also working on our canola oil to get to the actual, the whatever, how is that spelled? This epichlorohydrin. So yeah, the reason we want to get the seeds going is because we need the glycerol, which the best way to get that is by using empowered oil, so we can get a decent amount of glycerol that way. The seed oil is annoying to get, and if you use the empowered version of the oil, you can use a lot less of it and a lot less methanol. So getting up a processing chain for the epichlorohydrin and eventually getting to the epoxy resin is going to be definitely a big task, but a pretty fun one. So yeah, I'm going to call it for here. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I feel like we didn't get that much done this episode, but I guess the distillation tower is a pretty big point of success, and that's going to open up a whole lot of stuff in this mid-game tab. So I'm excited to work on that. But yeah, once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one.